Welcome back to Boruto Anime Review, episode 182. This I'm viewing the 182nd episode of the anime. Ow. Yep. Adapted from chapter 17 of the same name of the Boruto manga. Mostly put, in the case of how they adapted this chapter, it's mostly the same, except there's a ton of dialogue change with this one. And some appearance differences, yes. Like, when you read it from, if you read the chapter compared to how it's presented in the anime, the first obvious difference is Sadara's outfit. Yep, in the manga, she's wearing her outfit that she's worn since the start of the manga. In the anime, she's wearing her current attire, which, in my opinion, is a lot better than her original outfit. Also, let's see. Boruto, the whole episode of the anime, in the manga, he's not wearing his ninja headband. In the anime, he wears the whole episode. Probably because he was restored quickly to being a Geni pretty quickly. Now, mostly put basically, it was mostly the briefing scene where they discussed the fact that Sasuke can't find the Kara base, and the whole thing with Boruto's mark, which, yeah, in the case of this time, unlike in the manga, where it was obvious that Naruto didn't know that Sadara and Mitsuki knew about the mark very much. In the anime, yeah, they knew about it ahead of time, and at least Boruto is not portrayed as stupidly as he is in the manga when it comes to this. Also, they changed Naruto's dialogue in this scene, where basically, this is after Kisuke comes in, mostly put his dialogue with him was mostly the same in this scene, except that in the case of Naruto, in the manga he says basically Boruto has the qualities to make a Genin, even though he already is a Genin. In the anime, it's actually changed. Yes, they actually changed the dialogue to where he has the qualities and skills to make a Chunin. Interesting. So Boruto doesn't like the fact he has to go to this mission, so he just storms out. And of course, now in the case of what Naruto also, they don't have this in the anime, which I'm very happy they don't have this. When Mitsuki grabs Boruto's wrist, it's like, oh look, I've got a mark on my hand. Yeah, in the anime he doesn't do this at all. Which, in my opinion, good. Because that was stupid. Even Boruto, from the way he was, like, yeah, that was stupid. Yeah, I mean, people know about it. I like the fact the scene is well written. And it's a little better written than how it was presented in the manga. Though, most of the dialogue is the same, but I like the fact that the way the scene's portrayed in the anime, in my opinion, is better than what I do in the manga. That's just my opinion, anyways. And then we have basically Sadara and Mitsuki are charged with keeping an eye on Boruto on the mission. Like, okay, fine. And then mostly they have the scene at Thunderburger, which in the manga it's not clearly stated exactly what this restaurant is, because the cup he uses is very bland looking. Like, could be some generic fast food place that Boruto just happens to go to. While in the anime, he's known for going to Thunderburger. And the cup he uses is a Thunderburger cup, which is done in the logo for it, is done in the style of the anime, which I like the fact it was a cool Easter egg for that. And most put the scene is the same, except that in the case of this, what Mitsuki does to Boruto in the scene is so creepy. I'm like, why the heck would you do this for? Like, basically, he kind of convinces Boruto to go on the mission anyways. Though at least they don't have basically using his little snake arms. They try to use the way it looks like it's very seductive. I'm like, dude, this is so stupid. Why the heck would you do this for? In the anime, he doesn't do this at all. Also, he's wearing his ninja headband in the scene. Yes, because in the manga, Mitsuki, Sadara, and Boruto are not wearing their ninja headbands in the chapter. While in the anime, they are wearing them, which, thank you for fixing that, because I think a lot of people who originally read the chapter, like, okay, these three are active ninjas, where are their headbands? But I almost forgot to mention, this is not where the episode starts off with. The episode starts off with, quite interestingly, like, a very interesting opening sequence. Like, you have Konohamaru just examining the box, the vessel was it, I know what's in the box, and he takes out his scroll USB drive. He does that, and we cut outside where Moguro is being stabbed in the frickin' chest. You actually see it happen, and you see it. It's actually a standing scene from the way it was in the manga. We actually see the actual robot. Well, it's actually referred to as a doll, but technically this robot, him getting stabbed, and then ruined the face where like, wait, I saw you at Victor's company, and it removes it and just a robot. And then we have more robots show up, and we also see, because here's the thing, Konohama was briefly seen in the actual chapter itself, because like right after the scene, you don't see him again for at least for several chapters. In the anime, they actually added in here where you see him running away from the robots with Mugido. Also, Mugido looks like he's, like, if you look at basically how he's presented in the manga, artwork wise, it looks like he's older than he is in the anime. The anime portrays him basically as around the same age as Konohamaru. And I like the fact that he has a lot more character in the anime than in the manga, where he was just some random guy that Konohamaru was with. Because I think the anime itself did a fantastic job with this. Now, basically, Team Konohamaru and Kiskomi go to this place called Ruskin for a mission. Excuse me, to escort him to the design to examine the prosthetic hand that Naruto used last episode, and they transport via Thunder Train. This particular little sequence, basically before they find their seats, is actually another thing they extend in the anime, because which I'm sure that anime who regularly rides trains can perfectly understand this, and they come across. Now, also, I do appreciate though that they do keep this in, where it's Kasume who finds Ao. Yeah, like, oh hi, Lord Ao, and of course they all sit next to him. Boruto himself is carrying the suitcase which carries the prosthetic hand. Yeah, he decided to carry it because he wanted to, and he carries it like he's carrying a child. And there's one point look like they're when they hit like a bump and he nearly drops it. And Kisuga basically, like in the manga, oh, your wrist is switching. Let me fix that for you. And they actually added in here that basically when he actually visited the village last, because in the manga he didn't add that at all. He just oh look, there's Ao alive and well. And unless, of course, now look up, the anime did bother to explain how the heck he survived exploding via a bomb. Well, basically the tail beast bomb. Yeah, the anime actually bothered to explain, when the manga didn't bother to explain. They saw, like, because here he is alive and well, despite like anybody who last saw him, he practically died. And in the real, nope, he actually didn't die. He survived. He was so survivable. And of course, he mentions that he's from his Mist Village. Now, Boruto says, "Oh yeah, we went there with a school trip," which I'm glad he kept that in the end, because that portion of dialogue, I actually like the fact that they did that. Which at the time this chapter came out, the Hidden Mist arc had just wrapped up in the actual anime. And fun fact, the chapter. This actually was the first chapter I actually reviewed. Yes, this was in fact the very first chapter I actually reviewed. Yes, they finally get to a chapter I had previously reviewed. Yeah, chapter 17, the second chapter of this arc. Yeah, but starting with chapter 18 gets a lot more interesting, to say the least. Oh yes, I'm looking forward to seeing. I hope they don't change the dialogue very much for Sasumi, because she's going to appear next week. I'm looking forward to that. So the chat for a while, mostly put the C is mostly the same. Like they chat for a while, like being enemies, and then all of a sudden, like, while Kazoku is fixing Ao's hand, he takes the screwdriver and nearly like points to thing like almost like pointing a knife at somebody. They don't show the outside of the thing, which I do appreciate that, because they actually cut that. They show it from a different angle. And he says, "If I was enemy, I would kill you." But it's a good scene. I'm glad the fact they kept it in. And then we have Boruto and company leave. And then, like, not long after leave, Jogen shows up, and they actually give him a little more dialogue than in the actual manga itself. He actually mentions, like, they mention about Victor, because in the manga, because I was rereading it, there's no mention of Victor at all in the actual manga in this chapter. While in the anime, he's wondering, like, I was like, "Where's Victor?" And Jogen's like, "He's dead." Doesn't mention he killed him. Nope. Like, okay, and they chat for a while. Mostly, the exception of the Victor stuff, it's mostly the same scene. Of course, they also kind of added in here where that, well, Jogen wants, basically, actually, it's Kisuru his name is. He wants them to get the device. Also, it's revealed that he was one who basically put him on the Genjutsu back in the Chunin exam arc when they revealed that. So, let's see. Oh, yeah. They actually mentioned that he has some device under the floor he wants to use, and then he spends like a long time looking at his hand. Yeah, the scene in the manga is like roughly 1 page. In the anime, it's like about 2 minutes. So basically, him just looking at his hand, and then basically the cutscene outside where Boruto's excited to have this conversation with Ao, and the thing ends with basically Ao saying, "Well, I'm about to go to combat for the first time in 16 years." Okay, cool, great. Glad the fact they kept that in, because they kept mentioning this thing where apparently, like, it's been 10 years since they encountered White Zetsu. Like, did they manage to encounter a Zetsu during a time skip? Because it keeps saying 10 years, even though it's been like 15 years. I'm glad of the fact that from the anime perspective, they finally fixed that problem. I don't know if it's because they count them. It's not really clear. Because there's a lot of stuff during the time skip, the 15-year time skip between the end of Naruto and the start of Boruto. Not a lot of stuff was explained happening, aside from the fact some characters got married, Naruto became Hokage, and various other stuff. But this episode is really good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. The changes they made to the episode make perfect sense. Love them. And all in all, great episode. Definitely looking forward to next week. We're going to see more. We're going to see a lot more interesting stuff basically happen next week. Especially since this is going to adapt chapter 18, which I'm so looking forward to. And it looks like they'll make some changes to the action manga itself, which, okay, that's fine. But yeah, that's episode review. Stay tuned for my next review, which will be a review of the first 3 episodes of Absolute Duo. Those will be up soon. Okay? See you next video. Bye.